watching it. This is from a book, and there was a couple that opened up a book shop, and they put a typewriter in it, and people could write anything they wanted, anything. And over the years they have created this wall of fame, pretty much, from some of the notes that people have written, and in the end they have published the best ones in one book. So today I'm going to be reading from the book again. Last time a lot of the confessions, the writings were kind of funny. Let's see how many will be funny this time. Okay, we're starting off strong. When was the last time someone told you you are enough? And then, still written by the same person, is I'm finally ready to let love all of me. I met the man of my dreams, and I'm moving 1,000 miles away from him tomorrow. Oh no. Then it says still written by the same person. I know I'm leaving, but I will never leave you. Okay. So, actually there's a collection of photos. I'm not going to show you all of the photos because it's kind of hard to see, but they've pretty much chose some of the notes and they've painted some breaks with the confessions. So for example, here is just somebody writing love. Then there's I will find someone one day. This one is kind of hard to read. Oh, it says I know who I'm going to marry. Or this is my favorite corner in Ann Arbor. Here it says I'll find someone one day. There's like shadows of two people. Okay, so let's continue. There is something simultaneously thrilling and terrifying about a blank page. It's full of possibilities, but with that is the overhanging threat of failure. In my much longer days, I knew a girl named Jay. Unbeknownst to her, she was the great love of my life. My fear of her rejection is what prevented me to tell her exactly how I felt, and because of that fear, I sit here this day, a bitter and broken man, knowing that the great love of my life belongs to another. I'm the best book ever written, and most of the people I've loved just can't read. Just because someone loves differently does not mean they love less. And written by the same person. There are many different types. Perhaps we love all of those types. And this one, there, it looks like they couldn't find the letter A. But it says, I hate to do this to you, but I can't marry you. But all of the A's are missing. I got a divorce this morning. If you need me, I'll be being single somewhere. I ended up alone on my birthday, but being here makes it easy to forget that. Thank you. Okay, some of these, they're so sad. I thought it was you. I always thought it was you for years, but it was me. It was me all along. I'll take the blame. I had a dream about you last night. We were sitting on the dock at Sun Lake like we used to in high school. shitty Tenacious D songs. You knew. I hated that band, but I let it slide. Because you had that acute freckle by your nose, and your teeth were just the perfect kind of crooked. I still love you, wherever you are. Then it says, I will find someone someday. So this is the confession. The note that was actually painted on the wall. I keep realizing what I'm not. Not a doctor, not straight, not even beloved. But each time I get closer to realizing who I am. And so all these are happy negatives. I've never heard that before. A happy negative. I like that a lot, actually. I am a typewriter in the streets, but a laptop in the sheets. Okay. I've been gay and I've been straight, and they're both overrated. I just wanted to let you know that I'm not reading everything. There are these longer paragraphs in the book. So for example, there is this passage about somebody named the violin monster. And it was somebody who was just playing violin in a long black cape. And then he came to the shop. And I just wanted to let you know that if you want to purchase this book, like it's worth it, because I'm not sharing absolutely everything, okay? And this is not sponsored. But there's this note: Dear violin monster, next week could you come to the farmer's market? Love, Logan, age 7. So people actually started somehow talking to this person through the notes. And then the violin monster replied, Dear Logan, this week I'll be at the Renaissance Fair. Next week I'll be at the market. Hope to see you. Love, violin monster. This is so cute. And then the Logan, the child said, Where are you going to be on Halloween, violin monster? Love, Logan. P.S. I want to be you for Halloween. I love your violin music. And the kid, every time he writes violin, it's with an E instead of I. This is the cutest thing. Okay. Next confession. I wrote a letter to Santa today, so he doesn't think we only talk to him when we want something. She wanted someone to hunt fairies with, a real romantic who would understand her need to look through rose-colored glasses. She needed that, her adventure, the one who would tell her it was okay. If songs made her cry and the idea of growing old was the most terrifying thought she could think of, someone who would stay young of mind at least. Perhaps she would look back and laugh at those naive days, that year before 20, but she prayed to some higher power that she never became a true cynic. The fairies existed. They were those timeless moments, and she never wanted to become blind to their flight paths. Maybe she was just some silly girl writing too much on an old typewriter in a bookstore for perhaps 1 or 2 people to see, but the blessing of the young is a fantastically self-centered worldview, and to her these silly musings were the most important things to ever grace a piece of paper. But as the paper came to an end, she could not find it worth to, perhaps growing up in a moment. This was a longer passage, and the formatting is kind of odd. I don't know if you can see it, it was kind of hard to read. Okay. When we were younger, we would color our skies purple, our trees blue, and it always looked perfect to us. I raised the snowflakes to see who would fall first. My mom used to be a mime. I just found out. She never mentioned it. you, and I hope one day we can talk about things when we are sober. The hardest thing about loving someone so broken is you might fall to pieces yourself. 2 days sober, thrilled about the first, terrified of the second, do not have enough money to buy a book. Today, but I am comfortable here. Thank you. Sometimes I get lost just to assure myself someone cares enough to find me. And then, written by the same person, she needs help. I really want to help her, but I don't know how. Then there's a photo. It says, I told myself I wouldn't, but I did anyway. I am 7 months sober today. I'm finally learning how to forgive, not only those who hurt me, but myself. I worry that my pain is not profound. You know, I'm scared of heights because I'm afraid I'll jump. Life insists that we endure. Last semester I wanted to commit suicide, but now I am in a much better place. Be nice to everyone, for we're all walking around with unknown issues. Then there's a photo. You are loved. Bell peppers with fig jam are better than expected. Don't be scared. Next time you're driving on a bridge or flying on a plane, remember that it was built by the lowest bidder. I see. I'm always wondering, will there be lesbians? More often than not, the answer is a disappointing no. I am a questionable subject for a painting. There are so many birds. I never trust bartenders who don't drink or nurses who don't cough. Nobody can tell me that I can't like dolls. I dislike people, misanthropes, irony, and ellipses, and lists too. Oh, this one is longer. Okay. Dear Max, you are a good old cat. I'm sorry I pushed you off the couch sometimes when you wanted to sit in my lap, and I was touched out from the babies and my eyes were itching. I'm sorry for the time I cut your skin by accident, trying to cut out the mats, and didn't realize how bad it was at first. I'm sorry I sometimes let your nails get too long, or ran out of wet food, and that I let you go an extra day without your sub-Q fluids at the time. There were a lot of opportunities to not take perfect care of you as I had intended, but I hope you felt that those were the rare exception in the 6 years you were with us. I had a great day with you yesterday, and I hope you enjoyed some of your favorite things. Oh gosh, I'm going to cry. I hope you enjoyed some of your favorite things on your last day. It will always be a special memory for me. Please know you are loved, and I/we will always remember you. Love, your human mama. Oh gosh. This one is just so sad. In loving memory of my older daughter Rachel, who died of cancer at age 26, a year before this store opened, I would get her lots of cookbooks, but I can't. Oh gosh. Then it says, cancer sucks. Oh god, this part is just the hardest for me to read. I feel you here. You live in books. I miss you, Mom. Mother, when they buried you, they buried me too. Dear Nana, you would have loved this place. basement. Today he's gone, but the pages are still here, and so am I, and somehow that is enough. We are all stories in the end. And there's a photo of some of the writing. It's really hard for me to read, but I can read, like, I will find someone someday, and then somebody else written, yes, you will. And then it says, I write, that I write. And there's, okay, last note, last confession. We are all stories in the end. Okay, so that was it. I hope you have enjoyed it. This part was a little bit different from the first one. The first one, if you haven't seen it, was so funny and lighthearted. But the second part, gosh, it's gut-wrenching. Some of the confessions were just heartbreaking. Anyways, I hope you still have enjoyed this video. I do recommend the book. Obviously, I haven't read absolutely everything. There are passages in it written by the author talking about some heartwarming stories as well, or some experiences. So I do recommend it. Okay, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, and good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Thank you to Eric, Chad, and Saintger, and other lovely patrons and members for their support. Here are some other videos you